Hey everybody, welcome back to another Death Battle reaction video. I just put up my reaction video of Death Battle White Tiger Zord versus Gundam Epion. Going to be going through a couple of Death Battle reactions involving Tommy Oliver, aka Jason David Frank, who recently has passed away. It's bittersweet because I was planning on doing this anyway this week, so now it's like it's a tough sit through, knowing that this great individual has left us. But yeah, like, my heart goes out to his friends and family. I love Power Rangers, ever since I was a kid, and he's the main reason I probably love the color green, because he was like an awesome Green Ranger, one of my favorite Power Ranger design costumes. But right now we'll be reacting to the Dragonzord versus Mechagodzilla. So, without further ado, let's get to watching.
Whether they are benevolent deities or harbingers of doom, dragons are freaking awesome.
Hell yeah! Especially the robot kind, like the Dragonzord, piloted by the Green Power Ranger.
And Kiru, the dangerous and mysterious Mechagodzilla.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
After being stuck in a garbage can for 10,000 years, the evil Rita Repulsa was understandably pretty pissed. So, she decided to destroy the world. Hey, I'd be mad too, but that's a hell of a hot take.
And so Earth's guardian, Zordon, put a plan into motion. 5 heroic teenagers would defend the planet with their Dinozords. They were the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
You'd think a bunch of kids in spandex would have a tough time fighting an ancient witch, but they got used to taking out her weakly monsters pretty quick, like a normal 9 to 5, just with giant robots.
But Rita had a plan. If her creatures could not defeat the heroes, she would create her own ranger.
The Green Ranger, along with his robo-reptile, the Dragonzord.
At 90 meters tall and nearly 200 tons, the Dragonzord proved a match for the other Rangers, even their Megazord.
Dragonzord's got a heavy-duty arsenal, like finger missiles. It's like flicking the gunk from under your nails at people, but it explodes.
Why do you have gunk under your fingers?
To flick at people. Duh. That fin isn't just a cool headpiece, it shoots energy waves. And if D-Zord feels like stomping around, watch out for literally shocking earthquakes.
Despite such long-range weaponry, the Dragonzord seems best suited to fighting up close with its strong grappling arms and highly flexible drill tail. This drill is so impressive, it cut through a cocoon prison even the supposedly superior Megazord couldn't escape.
Yeah, that thing's 5 Zords in one. Guess teamwork doesn't always make the dream work.
The Dragonzord's pilot has even bested the other Rangers in combat on his own. Luckily, they helped him break free from Rita's control, and he eagerly joined their fight against the forces of evil. This is Tommy Oliver.
Tommy wasn't just some rando off the street. This guy is an expert martial artist and super dedicated to ranger work. So much so, he kept wearing the tights for years and even mentored other teams. He summons and controls the Dragonzord with the Dragon Dagger by playing it like a flute. Wait, are all knives secretly flutes?
They've never, not been flutes.
Oh my god, really? Wait a minute, why didn't this come up in poultry science class?
Chickens don't like music?
How stupid do you think I am? Chickens love music! Ah! God, this is what they mean by a sharp note!
As the Green Ranger, Tommy draws power from a universe-spanning energy called the Morphin Grid.
His grid connection powers the Dragonzord too. He's a superhero and a battery.
Though like most other Zords, enough damage can disrupt the Dragonzord's connection to the Morphin Grid and take it down for good.
But good luck trying. The Dragonzord is super strong. It made short work of Rita's monsters and even beat the Megazord, which has an average power output of 50,000 megavolts. That's the same kind of power as a nuclear warhead.
The Megazord was strong enough to punch a 10,000-ton monster about 40 meters off the ground, a punch worth 90 million newtons of force.
The Big D can even fly past escape velocity and reach the moon. That's over 30 times the speed of sound.
The Dragonzord is also extremely durable, possibly more so than any other individual Zord of its generation. The Megazord once threw it into this mountain, which shattered. By comparing the known size of Dragonzord's foot to said mountain and applying the energy necessary for violent fragmentation against rock, we determined the destructive force to be worth more than 350 tons of TNT.
Damn! The Big Dragon held its own against the upgraded Thunder Megazord, and even one-shot the White Tiger Zord, which was supposed to be its better in every way.
While it's unlikely the Dragonzord could actually defeat the Thunder Megazord on its own, it certainly stands a chance with its ultimate form.
That's right, it's got a semi-Megazord mode of its own. While each Power Ranger has their own Zord, there's been a few times when a Ranger has called on other Zords, not to pilot directly, just to combine with theirs.
And so, Tommy can summon the Mastodon, Triceratops, and Saber-Tooth Tiger Zords to form Dragonzord Fighting Mode. Or Battle Mode. Or Dragon Megazord, he never really settled on a name.
Well, it's mighty powerful and turns its tail into a drill spear that kills basically everything in one shot. Seriously, it never lost a battle against anything Rita threw at it. So, why don't they always use that?
And Rita's magic is devastating enough to obliterate an entire floating island.
Sadly, Tommy would lose his control of the Dragonzord when he lost his powers to his one weakness. A magic candle! Oh no! Look out for slowly dripping wax!
But powers or no powers, Tommy kept fighting the good fight, eventually regaining his original Morphin abilities with the Master Morpher. Perhaps one day, the Dragonzord will rise again.
Dragonzord!
Because it's always at the
year was
Dragonzord was based off of
1954,
Godzilla.
less than a decade after Japan was bombarded with the first atomic weapons. The nuclear age had begun.
But one of these atomic weapons woke something up. Godzilla! This ginormous radioactive kaiju decimated Japan. Things looked pretty bad until a scientist deployed a bomb strong enough to kill the monster. The Oxygen Destroyer, which does exactly what it says on the tin.
Right, Dr. Serizawa's bomb could specifically target and destroy oxygen molecules, liquefying most living tissue. This weapon was so dangerous, Serizawa feared its very existence threatened the entire human race.
So he went down martyr style, taking out Godzilla and all knowledge of his weird bomb. All that remained was Godzilla's bones.
Probably for the best. Still, a weapon like that might have come in handy when, a few decades later, another Godzilla showed up.
Surprise, bitches! Brrr!
Turns out, Japan had been the target of many different types of kaiju for years, and had developed an anti-monster defense force to combat them.
Unfortunately, their super powerful maser cannons barely even scratched this new Godzilla. Just look at him. I didn't even care.
Like the Oxygen Destroyer before, Japan needed a new weapon to combat Godzilla. They gathered their foremost experts in the fields of robotics, microwaves, low-temperature physics, and someone whose work can only be described as cyber necromancy. Together, these leading scientists developed a revolutionary weapon like nothing before it.
Mechagodzilla!
Sure, technically this isn't the first Mechagodzilla we've seen, but it's certainly the deadliest and the most unique. So much so, it was given its own distinct name. Kiru, a combination of kanji meaning machine and dragon.
Hear you? Sounds lame. I'll stick with Mechagodzilla, thank you. Standing 60 meters tall and weighing 40,000 tons with full gear, this badass cyber monster is loaded with all sorts of weapons. Rocket launchers, rail cannons, grappling wires, spinning drill hands, a battering ram jetpack, and even retractable Assassin's Creed blades with an extra zap. And just like Zilla himself, Mecha G fires laser beams from his mouth. This twin maser cannon is twice as powerful as the maser guns that successfully killed other non-Godzilla giant monsters.
Kiryu is certainly skilled in melee combat and is surprisingly athletic for its size.
Look at it go!
However, with its enormous arsenal, it is far better suited to long-range strikes. Like with its ultimate weapon, the Absolute Zero Cannon.
Damn! So it's like a super ice beam?
As the name suggests, it unequivocally brings its target's temperature to absolute zero, or 0 Kelvin. But this beam isn't just freezing its target, it's literally destroying all of its existing energy at once. A practically impossible feat of physics. This results in crushing the entire target from within at an atomic level.
Oh my god, Zilla!
Speaking of which, Kiryu is actually built around the skeletal remains of the original Godzilla.
In the last Godzilla movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, they had, spoiler alert, they had Mechagodzilla in it, and they kind of kept true to the origins of Mechagodzilla. Just, you know, it was built around like the bones of previous kaiju,
giving them all the size and strength of the king of the monsters.
So it's kind of like they're pulling off a robotic Weekend at Bernie's with old man.
Determination.
Okay. Sorry.
Zilla's bones? Amazing.
Kiryu also utilizes biochemical and molecular-based DNA computers, which are actually based on real-life experimental technology. This infused Godzilla's own DNA to improve operation speeds and give Kiryu subconscious motor control, sort of a simple AI, which lets it perform some limited actions on its own, exactly like my own Cyber Goose. With the skeleton of a goose and some extra parts I had lying around, I say he's a masterpiece of modern science.
Well, he's got two heads now, so do we call him a goose or a geese?
It's a goose. Just one goose.
But two heads make two goose, therefore a geese.
It's a goose!
Oh yeah, this version's much better.
Kiryu is piloted by Lieutenant
Technically,
Akane
probably
Yashiro,
geese.
a longtime member of the Anti-Megalosaurus Force, and your standard self-loathing anime protagonist.
Two heads.
She thinks she's worthless because she has no parents and accidentally got some of her friends killed. So now nobody really likes her, which is, real bummer. But hey, cheer up, lady! You get to fight giant lizards with a big-ass killer robot, and that's freaking awesome!
Akane doesn't technically pilot from within Kiryu, but rather from a nearby jet plane, the AC-3 White Heron, which can fly over 900 kilometers per hour. Under Akane's control, Kiryu has battled Godzilla several times, and always came out on top.
But plot twist, Akane isn't Mechagodzilla's only pilot. It turns out there's someone else behind the controls. A ghost in the machine. It's the spirit of the original Godzilla! Surprise again, bitches! It's Ghost Robot!
The DNA mind of Godzilla can wrestle the mech from Akane at any point, causing her to lose complete control.
Giving the king another chance to trash Japan again! Always fun to relive the good old days.
Though it is strongly implied Akane and Kiryu came to an understanding of sorts, realizing that they were each shadows of a tragic past struggling to find purpose in life.
Like college roommates.
Regardless of who is steering the ship, Kiryu is an extremely tough machine.
He's lifted and thrown Godzilla around like a sack of potatoes, and this version of the Big G weighed 25,000 tons.
Kiryu actually survived being at the epicenter of its own Absolute Zero blast, and multiple direct hits from Godzilla's atomic breath attack.
Which is even strong enough to overpower the Absolute Zero.
Kiryu is even fast enough to dodge the atomic breath, which, based on this instance where an older Mechagodzilla forced the beam into space, likely travels faster than Mach 2 speeds. Kiryu itself could also fly from Alaska to the middle of Russia while carrying another kaiju in just a few minutes. Given how quickly Kiryu's fuel burns in flight, in order to make it, Kiryu was likely flying around Mach 40.
But that's sadly the Mecha Monster's biggest flaw. Its battery life is worse than the goddamn Nintendo Switch.
While the White Herons can use microwave tech to recharge Kiryu on the fly, a full charge only runs for about 2 hours at most. And using more intensive features like jet flight and the Absolute Zero Cannon drains it much, much faster. In fact, just one use of the Absolute Zero drains 40%.
But who cares when he's so badass he can tear you apart in just a few minutes? With all this power at his metal fingertips, this is one epic machine. No man or beast stands a chance against the might of Mechagodzilla.
桐生、お前にはわかるよね。さあ、そろそろ行こうか。
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, I've got a kaiju-sized hunger that only Blue Apron can satisfy.
Without the hassle, try Blue Apron.
Check out apron.com.
A better way to...
Time for a death battle!
Rooting for Tommy. Just getting right to it.
Ha! Nice work, Dragonzord! Let's crush this tin can!
Better wait. Absolute Zero.
Oh no, you don't!
持ちこたえてキル今行く負けないでキルお前だけが頼るよ
This isn't working! We need more power! Come together! Fighting mode! Powered up and ready for action! Let's finish this! Keep going! We've got this! Oh no! Pull back! Pull back!
Oh man, talk about a close one!
Finding the victor here wasn't easy. Both have performed amazing feats of strength and durability, and both wielded massive arsenals of unbelievable devastation.
Akane definitely proved herself fighting Godzilla a few times, though Tommy did have way more experience piloting mechs and fighting monsters for years and years. Plus, he's a friggin' superhero.
But while skill and experience are incredibly important, it doesn't always triumph over raw power.
That's what she said. I hope.
Compared to Kiryu, the Dragonzord was rather lightweight, with far less impressive feats of strength.
Yeah, well, Dragonzord could match the Megazord, who could lift a 10,000-ton monster. Mechagodzilla tossed around a 25,000-ton Godzilla, more than double the weight. Mecha G certainly had the advantage up close.
And also from a distance. Kiryu's arsenal was overall better suited to long-range combat thanks to a wider assortment of missile and beam weapons. Simply put, Kiryu possessed more options for controlling and ending this fight.
Like how they both had instant kill moves, but only one of those depended on getting right up close. Plus, while Fighting Mode's max power wasn't too clear, it could compete with the Thunder Megazord and Rita herself.
Remember how Rita blew up an island? Easily one of the most impressive destruction feats in the Ranger's early years. Based on this image, we can measure the exact scale of the island.
To blow that shit up, you'd need a blast of at least 2.6 gigatons of TNT. So Dragonzord's Ultra Drill Stab was likely in the same ballpark in terms of power output.
However, this pales in comparison to the Absolute Zero Cannon. Here, it's destroying the real-life Prince Hotel New Tower and several surrounding buildings. Using the known scale of these structures, the energy output to destroy them must equal 128 teratons of TNT.
That's over 49,000 times more powerful. And don't forget, Mecha-G once survived being in the middle of this blast. There was no way Dragonzord could put down this tough son of a Zilla.
Dragonzord's arsenal and Tommy's skills certainly made this an intense match, but they were clearly outclassed by Kiryu's awesome power and unwavering durability.
I'm just glad they didn't let the fight drag on.
The winner is Kiryu.
Mechagodzilla!
Damn, that's another loss for not even the Green Ranger nor the White Ranger stood a chance against their opponents in death battle. But do y'all agree with that? Cause I don't know. Cause with the power output, I can't argue with that. Cause by comparison, yeah, the damage output, Mechagodzilla dished out more, which something like that can overload the morphing grid very easily. Yeah, maybe I'm a little biased because I like Tommy Oliver. But anyway, I will see you guys a little bit later tonight. I'm going to eat a little bit more Thanksgiving dinner. Then I'm going to hop on to start Evil West walkthrough. If you want to check me out, I'm always live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/talkativecarl. Links are in the description. Let me know what you think of these death battle reactions. I will be hopping on tomorrow doing a spoiler review for the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, but also I'll be ranking the rest of Phase 4 of the MCU, because I already did ranking in from Phase 1 into partial into Phase 4 on my YouTube channel. So I will be doing a part 2 to that, and after each phase I will be adding on more to the ranking. But yeah, and then I'll probably add in a couple more death battle videos. I'm gonna be getting some nice little time off for a while from work, so might as well I'll add in a couple of more death battle reactions tomorrow. And yeah,